Hello to you all, my lovely YouTube friends, subscribers old, subscribers new, you're all most welcome. At this, the end of another year. Gosh, I don't know how time goes, I honestly don't. But here we are at the end of the year, and I think, for the most part, it's been a really, really marvellous year in the kitchen garden. Every year, of course, has its ups and downs. Every year has its successes and failures, and what may have grown well last year may have done rubbishly this year, and what's done rubbishly this year may do brilliantly next year. It's part of the joy of gardening, is that we never know quite what we're going to get, but we do know that if we put a little bit of effort in, a little bit of care and a little bit of love, we can get some gorgeousness. And more than that, we can just spend some very, very happy hours outside in our gardens. So this is a bit of a look back over the whole of the last year. It's been a long year, but it's gone quickly. Hasn't been a long year. Every year is the same, isn't it? 365 days, apart from a leap year. But yes, there has been a lot going on in the garden this year, and for me it's been a pleasure to look back at all the footage I've made, all the photographs I've made, and try to condense it into these next 3 episodes that you're going to see. This first one, we're going all the way back to last December, back to the winter, when everything seems a little bit bleak, doesn't it? But there's still joy to be had in the garden. So, get yourself a cup of tea or a glass of wine. We're getting into that kind of time of year, aren't we, where we're allowed a glass of wine in the day. Anyway, sit back, relax, and enjoy seeing a garden unfold. That is definitely a garden that is mostly tucked up for winter. Obviously this top bed number 1, is still producing quite actively, and I've got these little bits going on here, but yes, oh, I can see my breath suddenly. Yes, it's winter. And the thing with the leaves is, you always need so many, because when they do eventually break down, they break down to nothing. Well, not nothing, otherwise we wouldn't do it, would we? But, yeah. I'm going to need quite a few. But, what a lovely thing to do on such a bright morning. Dig and tickle. pop you in there. Oops. The soil's rather soggy at the moment. Even though the soil is a bit soggy at the moment, I will just water it in, settle it in there. Now, the other thing is, at this stage, I'm just going to go through it and make sure it's empty. There we go. I do need to protect it from frost this first winter. So I think now what I'll do is I'm going to put a mound of leaves on it as a bit of insulation and a little bit of fleece. Now, a few leaves for insulation. I look like I'm doing one of my Andy Gormleys again. And then just this little scrap of fleece. Bit of a scrag end. There we go. Night night rhubarb. Oh, let's hope it grows and it's happy there, because I really want some rhubarb soon. Good stuff. I did sort of pile these up tidily at the end of the season. I don't know what happened. I'm going to blame it on the foxes. Oh my goodness. What a tangle. Going to stick out too far? No, that'll be grand. I'm going to start on this with these two posts either side of the window, because I just want to make sure I'm below the window here, and then when I get further along to the next two posts, I can stagger it. So say this one's here, on the next post I'll put it there, so that if there's any pokey that way, hopefully they'll have room to overlap. Well, I'm chuffed to get this little job done today. It has been something that's been on my mind for ages, probably for about 2 or 3 years. You know, working out somewhere to store the bean poles. I've had ideas over the years, but they've never really come to fruition because of lack of materials. But this is great. They're neat, they're tidy, they're eminently accessible, doesn't block the room with a view. Really easily accessible. Isn't this light beautiful at the moment? This light. I was going to say be quiet, but someone's drilling or something, but this light is exactly why I wanted to come chasing down here today. Like I say, even if it's half an hour, it's all feeding the soul. Beautiful. And in a moment, the aeroplane will pass. The drilling will cease, and it'll just be me, the light, and the birds again. Oh, it's quite heavy, this stuff. I think I'll be taking a layer off soon. What's that? Oh, it's a bit of... I was thinking something sprouted. It's a bit of garlic. I don't know if there's enough here to cover the entire bed, but it'll do most of it. worse if it looks a bit messy. It's not messy, it's gorgeous. Oh, honestly, I can't wait to sit down with all my seed packets and my piece of paper and start drawing and planning. Yay! The other thing, since we were all asked down for a tour, is look how bare the fence looks now. No achocha, no bunting. Oh, it's definitely the winter garden now, isn't it? Even more than at the beginning of December. I decided it needed a little bit more jollying, so I've added one more sign. I love this. I picked this sign up at the steam railway down at my grandparents' old place. Yes, so watch it with your smoke and steam. You don't want to annoy your neighbours. And of course all the bean poles are there, nice and tidy. So yeah, that is very definitely now a winter garden. Absolutely nothing doing apart from harvesting to eat and a couple of little tinker time jobs in the herb bed. So I'll turn my attention to other things for a while. Not as much as I was hoping for, but a little is better than nothing. Okay, so we've got our Wassailing song. There are different types of songs, but I picked this one because it's specifically for an apple tree. We're not going to do the music though. So are we ready?
Yeah, okay.
Old apple tree, old apple tree, we've come to wassail thee, to bear and bow apples enough, hats full, caps full, 3 bushel bags full, barn floors full, and a little heap under the stairs. And now we offer up to the tree's roots, a little bit of our wassail cup.
Not having much.
Not having much because there's a lot of trees to do. So, happy wassail to you all.
Happy New Year, everyone.
So we say wassail and you back to us say, drink ale, and we will drink to your health from the wassail cup. This is the last one in our little communal orchard and it's a plum. So we've got a plum wassail for it. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Wassail the trees that they may bear you many a plum and many a pear. For more or less fruits they will bring, as you do give them wassailing. So let's wassail our little plum.
If this doesn't bear now, I should be really disappointed.
Wassail!
Wassail.
And I'm going to save a last little drop, and I'm going to do this same plum and pear one in a second out in the public park for my adopted plum tree, and I'm going to look like a nutter dancing around the tree with me wassail cup saying these
Nothing
words.
wrong with that. Nothing wrong
But
with
yeah,
that.
good health to all your trees this year
And
too.
Happy New Year.
Can you see me in the gloaming? Oh my goodness, it's getting so dark out there. I don't know what time it is, it's only about noon, but my goodness, it's just creeping in and cloying, and I can feel a lot of moisture in the air. It's not raining, but it's really, really damp. So I've done some bits and bobs outside. Time to turn my attention before it starts really lashing with rain to some seed sowing. It's the only thing I'm going to sow in January, and it's the only thing I'm going to sow down here in the kitchen garden. The rest will be indoor sowings in about the middle of February and the middle of March back at my flat. So today, oh my goodness, I don't know why I bother, to be honest, but today I'm going to put some sweet peas in. I don't know why, but I just can't grow them for love nor money. It's ridiculous. I'm sure most of us have that one bogey plant we can't grow. I've got 2, it seems, sweet peas and Brussels sprouts. I keep trying though, I keep trying. Now, both my sister and my mum grow fantastic sweet peas, and they kind of just chuck them in and that's it, and they're further north than me. Anyway, so I'm going to try 2 different ways today. I've been given some lovely seed from a friend, so I'm going to do half today and half in a couple of days' time. one of my main reasons for wanting to divvy the big beds up into these 5 smaller beds is so that on the occasions when I do need to dig, there will still have to be some digging. It just means, because they're narrower, I can dig from the path, this side for example, or if I'm on the other side, dig from one of my mud paths. So the idea being that from now on I'll never ever have to be on these beds again. I'll never have to, oh, tons of worms, brilliant. I'll never ever be compacting with my body weight, brilliant. Like I say, there will still probably be times when I do a bit of digging, or, you know, forking like this. Maybe if I'm adding something, oh, I don't know what, but anyway, the point is, it should all be more manageable going forward. As my knees and body in general become more and more decrepit, see how it's compacted, bloody great lumps. Yeah, it should just basically future-proof me a bit, so it's a little bit less work for me in the autumn and the spring. But also, like I said a second ago, it means I can just concentrate the organic material into these much more specific spaces now. Woohoo! What's weird is, I haven't quite worked out yet whether I like going this way or this way as I'm giving it a little tickle. Isn't it funny how, I mean, I know we're kind of right-handed or left-handed, right-footed, left-footed or whatever, but to have a preference for the direction in which we dig, bizarre. Right. Actually, the middle isn't too bad. It's just towards the edge here. And I'm wondering if that's what the parsnips didn't enjoy last year. I haven't quite got used to saying last year yet. I haven't got used to writing 19 instead of 18. I had to write a load of texts to my great aunt the other day, and I wrote 2018 on all of them. Yeah, I reckon it's at least into February before I start saying 19. Oh, glass. Can I get it in the glass bucket from here? No. Right, I'll carry on with this. You all go and have a nice cup of tea or something. I need my bucket. The last thing is another of my favourite things to grow. And again, you can hear the rattling, can't you? I've got masses. Again, as a small holder, or if you're aiming for some level of self-sufficiency, I think beans are a massively important crop to grow, especially if you're veggie. We're getting protein from them, brilliant. They taste great. They're incredibly versatile, so you can do so many things with them, whether you're doing a burger, whether you're just having them as they are as a soup or as a beanie salad, whether you blitz them into a soup to use them as a thickener but giving you an extra bit of protein. Such a fantastic vegetable, really important to me both as a veggie and someone who's trying to live just off the land. And of course what's great about beans is we can grow them up so they're not taking up too much space. I have got so many beans and peas. So I've got all my own that I've saved, and then you guys, obviously knowing how much I love my beans, have been sending me so many different bean seeds. I'm going to see how much of what I can fit in where. Trust me, you know me, I'm going to try and fit it all in. Here are my little white onion sets. This is, the variety is called Jet Set. I've been using them for years. It was purely by accident the first time I picked Jet Set for my whites and Red Baron for my reds. It's so hard to choose, isn't it? There are a myriad, varieties out there. I don't know why I chose them. I can't remember that initial thought process I went through to choose them, but choose them I did, and they did really well for me that first year, so I've just stuck with them. And I've generally always had really, really good harvests. They've both stored really well. Last year the bulbs were all a little bit smaller, but I think it's just because of the heat and the drought. But yeah, like I said, I've had good harvests and they've stored really well, so why muck around with something that's been working? So then I've also had delivery of my potatoes, yay! So I'm doing, as my main crop, I'm doing Cara. Again, over the years I've tried a few different varieties, but I've always found Cara to be a really lovely taste, and they store pretty well. So, and usually with the Cara I just leave them be in the ground until, towards the end of September, excuse me, beginning of October. I leave them there until I need them. But then generally it gets to about October and I have to lift the whole lot out to make way for the garlic to go in. Now, I'll just say as well that my salad potatoes are Anya. Again, I've tried quite a few different varieties, but I just love the Anya. I kind of like their crazy bonkers shape. They're beautifully waxy, as you want all your salad potatoes to be. I think I need to sharpen my scissors. I definitely need to get on with this learning to sharpen, don't I? And I just tug it. So, now that my potatoes have arrived, again, you don't want to leave things lying around at home indoors where it's kind of warm and humid. So I'm going to start the process that we call chitting. You do not have to chit, not by any means. I always say it, I'll say it again I'm sure, but you imagine a farmer planting 3 million potatoes, she isn't going to chit her potatoes, is she? So when we're chitting them, what we're aiming to do is to develop the first starts of the shoots, which are going to become the plant above. We're aiming to develop short, sturdy, strong little chits. So when your potatoes arrive, or you've been to the shop to buy them, it may not be obvious right away. I'm searching for one that is more obvious to show you. I think this might be the most obvious. Looks like a regular spard, nothing much going on. But when you look really closely, you see in the top there, just beginning to form is the first little sprout of life. If we look at the other end, you see there's nothing showing. So this is where our growth is going to come from, and this is what we want to develop as our nice chit. I'm just giving it a top dressing with some of these chicken manure pellets. Really easy to use, easy to store if you don't have much space like me. Now I've always tended to give the garlic a top dressing around about this time of year, February, March or so. If you think how long it's been in the ground, you could probably do with a bit of help right now. Hopefully they're not going to get too blown about, but you know, leaves blow about everywhere anyway, don't they? I'm sure people can't complain about leaves if a few of these migrate to other plots. Good. I'm glad to get this job done. I'm kind of a bit cross with myself that I didn't get it done at the end of the autumn in October when I planted the garlic. But never mind, at least it's done now. I don't know how effective it's going to be. I've never used leaves as a mulch like this before, but, well, hopefully it'll stop my poor soil from getting a hammering with the winter rains. Because the other thing is, if I didn't get it covered, then as we go into sort of April, May, June, as we start to be warm and sunny, that surface would just bake to concrete. So, yeah, glad to get that done today. It's been a bit of an effort, been a bit time consuming, but I'm sure my lovely little garlic and my soil is going to be happier for it. And the other thing is, of course, it's creating another little micro environment for some more life, isn't it? So that's got to be a great thing. With the feverfew, I'm just cutting back to where I've got some lush new growth. Just be careful when you're cutting back that you don't cut into really brown wood. What a beautiful way to spend an almost spring morning though. Time to get on with this little path now. So good, tick, another little job done, and more than that, it's just been a really beautiful morning to enjoy it. And actually just getting all the plants pruned and tidied up and a little bit of weeding done. Yes, I'm thoroughly happy with that little session this morning. Apart from the sound of the aeroplane and the sirens, it's you almost wouldn't know that you're in London, eh? And that should do me. Fix the support poles get it recovered. Yay! And hope for the best. I think though that there are enough plants here to give me a good harvest anyway, so yes, grateful for the ones that are here. So yeah, literally just about a spade's depth. Hang on, let's start this a bit easier. And then I'm just going to literally, whoops, that's some celery roots. Just pile the soil up until about May. Once I've filled my little trenches, and then just bring all the soil back down over my gorgeous, lovely rotting stuff. What I'll probably do in the next few days is I'll just have these last bits of celery out. Either use them or freeze them. But yeah, that's it. Simple as. Actually, this soil's not looking too bad where it's had stuff in it over the winter. Ooh, wind! So, oh, it is suddenly a bit windy, isn't it? All I'll do now is I'll repeat this 3 more times in this bed, 4 times in the next bed, and then another 4, and then another 4 as we go. But for instance, over the winter, bits of cardboard have been blowing around as they've torn off. So that can go in there. Any little bits of rubbish, you know, where I've got some of the celery leaves have gone over, they can just come off, they go in there. So literally just keep piling up, just keep adding whatever organic matter you've got. Like I said, we're going to get some rain in a couple of days, so that'll give it a good wetting too. And then when we get to March, drag the soil back over it and plant some seeds, and hope that we don't have quite the same sort of drought that we had last year. I don't mind the sunshine, but maybe a little bit of rain of an evening. Think of it as a handy little bin to chuck stuff in as you're going around the garden doing a bit of a tidy up. I'm sitting with my head right in the rosemary, and it's so delicious. I think the older I get, the wiser I get in some ways, not in all ways, but I think one of the things I've definitely become wise about is just going more slowly in the garden. Just really making the most of each moment, allowing myself to be completely in the moment of whatever I'm doing. I mean, I still have my list. I still have, you know, that sort of an idea of what I'd like to get done each day. But I'm less bothered these days if I don't get it all done. Just do it another day. And what I'm definitely better at these days is when I'm doing a job, like now, I'm doing this job. I'm not thinking about the next job or the next 3 jobs. It's taken me quite a while to learn that. But I tell you what, now that I've learned it, I don't half enjoy that pleasure of it. And now that little section just below that leaf node, that's going to go. And then I'm just going to trim that leaf and that leaf because I don't want those to be under the water line. Oh, broken leaf there, never mind. Likewise, in it goes. Hello, Poppy. It's as simple as that. Right then, let's get you all covered. Don't need the markers anymore. I'm not going to put the fleece far away. Ooh, welcome to the world, little Rhubarb. Enjoy the sunlight, little one. Oh, I can't wait to eat. Patience. Patience. Hurrah for rhubarb. Not the quickest job. Worth it eventually, I hope. Look at that. Isn't that a beautiful sight against this blue sky this morning? Oh, achingly gorgeous. Doesn't that give you hope for a year? I'm just going to see if I can get closer without going flying, because it really is magnificent against this blue sky today. Oh, shall we pretend we're in Japan for a moment? Beautiful, beautiful, delicate little blossoms. Ah, and there's a bee at work somewhere. Can you hear it? I can see it. Let's see if I can get a shot of this bee for you. Oh, I've disturbed her. Off she goes somewhere. And there's another one arriving. Gorgeous. Then let's start with the twiggy bits. It's going to be a bit noisy and clanky, I reckon. I might have to snap some of them shorter. Also, I've just I've put the whole pot on a couple of bits of 2x4 underneath, just to lift it off the deck. So that should help with drainage too. Is that enough sticks, do we think? Oh, a couple more. Okay, now the lumps of brassica stuff. I don't know, this might be a form of madness. But on the other hand, maybe it'll turn into something that actually works out all right. Right, well, I'm going to carry on doing this for another layer. It may take me a little while, so I'll bring you back in a moment. That's a bucket of, well, not a bucket, but there's a good chunk of flint corn chopped up to mix some soil in with. Hopefully, like I say, it'll stop the soil being too heavy and sticky. Let's pop that there a second. Oh, not sure. Oh, that might be the St John's wort roots. Let's not add that. Otherwise I'll have St John's wort everywhere. It's like a big old cake. So I'll add some more, but just so you can see, this is what I'm doing. I'm just mixing all this chopped up stuff in with the soil just to hopefully stop it from getting waterlogged and compacting and what have you, to form the next layer. And then the top layer will be some bought compost, because I don't have any compost of my own. Right, let's chop that in as well. So that's now twigs, brassicas, some chopped up flint corn and their old roots, and soil with chopped up flint corn added, and then the rest will be compost. Actually, I think I could come up, settle it down a bit, I think I could come up another couple of inches with soil and flint corn. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do, another maybe a couple of inches, and then 6 inches of compost to finish it with. Yeah, good. That one, and then do the next one. Well, I was about to show you something, but a certain somebody is asking for attention first. Hello, mate. Oh, I've missed you this last week. We'll have a cuddle in a minute. Oh, and there's Rosie too. Yes, I've missed you too, Rosie. A bit of a wet patch. I should probably warn anyone that's a neat freak. Now, I normally am a neat freak, but my trenches and the mounds I make next to them never are particularly neat, because, well, these mounds won't last long. It won't be long before, before I start dragging all of this back down over all my lovely emerging potato tops. And of course, the other thing about having my mounds like this means, you can probably tell it is a little bit of an effort. But yeah, by having these mounds here, it does mean that if I've got really tender little emerging shoots, and there's suddenly a danger of frost, I can immediately just draw all this soil over them to protect them. If we got to the stage where I had no soil to draw over them and we were in danger of frost, of course then it would just be a case of get the fleece out. folk often ask me, why don't I do my edges with my strimmer? Because you can flip the head around to trim the edge. Well, firstly, no battery, but never mind that. I like using my hand tools whenever possible. It's a bit of exercise. Oh, here comes some wind. It's slow, it's quiet. It's one of those jobs. Why would I hurry it? Just enjoy being in the moment. And it's a job that will get done every 2 to 3 weeks from now until October, depending on warmth and rain and how fast the grass grows. But it's a happy, you're all going to stop wobbling now because Poppy's rubbing the tripod. Yeah, but it's one of those jobs, it's such a pleasure to do. Manual, slowly, all the way. Think of it as a meditation. I had forgotten how warm and bright and lovely it was at so many times during last spring, and actually even before the spring. Those beautiful days in January and February which were full of sunshine and gorgeous brightness. So, I got through the winter, got all the jobs done eventually that I wanted to get done. It was now time to brace myself for the madness that was to come. The seed sowing, the planting, the structures, all of it. That's going to be in the next episode, in part 2. I look forward to seeing you then.